Hey everybody, still at the hostel here in Silver City. I figured while I'm taking a 00, I have the opportunity to do my first camp video and actually show you guys what gear I ended up making the final cut onto the trail, because there was a lot of stuff that I ended up cutting and removing from my pack from the gear video. So you can see what is actually with me. I've got my tent set up back here at the hostel. This is my room for the next few days. So duplex tent. There is no tent poles that hold this up. It's all tension on the trekking poles here and these guidelines. And when we go in, you can see how I've got this kind of oriented for sleeping. I have my pillow, and then I have my Thermarest mattress. This is a short one, so you can see it only comes down a little ways. So when I lay down on it, you can see when I lay down on it, it goes down to about my knee. And then I've got my quilt, bear can. I brought 5 pairs of socks, 2 shorts, 2 underwear, 2 shirts for complete changes of clothes. At Buff, I've got 3.5 liters in water bottles, another 3 liters of water storage in a flask. And then I've got my battery pack and cables. I've got my sit pad. Some of the things that I cut were from this ditty bag, so I don't have my microfiber towel anymore. I don't have 100 feet of cord anymore. I only have 50. I did a lot of other things, just taking stuff out of packaging, readjusting what pills I took, more Benadryl, more stuff like that, and really just kind of dialed in the weight. There wasn't a lot of changes. The bidet got dropped because of needing to use your hand after using it, and that wasn't something I was interested in doing. And it's also kind of good because there wasn't a lot of water in the desert, so it was helpful to be able to have paper and not need to divert some of my water for that. One of the things that I have, and I keep forgetting to mention in the video, is the Garmin InReach. So if you look in the description of all my videos, I do have a link to the site that you can view almost in real time where I am while I'm hiking. I do keep it in extended view or extended tracking mode so that the battery lasts longer, so it only updates about every hour. And that's providing it can get a signal. At the end of the day, it will upload everything so you can see it there. Got a couple of cold weather stuff in here, gloves. I'm gonna buy a pair of pajama pants because the mornings have been a little bit chillier than I thought. I've got somewhere, oh here it is, this blanket, which I thought I was gonna wear as a form of sun protection, but didn't end up happening, and just slathered myself with sunscreen instead. So was able to avoid a lot of the burning that I would have otherwise had because of that. But this is more or less the camp and how everything works. So it's not exactly set up yet, but you can see the gear that I brought. So as you can see, I've got my Tyvek sheet under here as a ground sheet, but I also have, you can see hiker written on there. It is a hiker to town and hiker to trail sign that I am going to try and use to help hitch a ride so that people know who I am and where I'm trying to go. Makes it a little bit easier when they know that they're not on the hook to take you wherever you want to go, but you have a destination in mind. But So far, we are basically done with the desert section. There might be a little bit of stuff to go still as we get into the Gila, but I'm very excited about that because we are going to be more into the type of hiking that I'm used to, and at least for the first 3 days it'll be a little bit shorter. So what happened with the trail up to this point was I did the normal kind of 7 or 6 day from Crazy Cook into Lordsburg. Very challenging because of the sun for me. Not as challenging for other people, but definitely a cool hike. And then from Lordsburg to Silver City this year, there was a National Forest Service has closed part of the area around Burro Peak for prescribed burns until like the end of December of this year. So the trail was closed. I had originally thought that I wouldn't be able to handle being out in the sun, and that's why I wanted to skip ahead. But after taking a day and talking with Burn and Rod, we found a way to do it in 2 days on a road walk, which I wasn't very fond of, but because road walks are hard, and it worked out, so it was good. The first day was really where we deviated from the trail. In actuality, what most people did was take the trail out of Lordsburg, and it was about 30 miles to the Burro Peak trailhead, and people were doing that in 2 days. The water reports were kind of sketchy, so I was a little apprehensive of doing that, so instead we did 25 miles on Nevada 90 to the Burro Peak trailhead, and carried all the water for that and stayed there for the night. Now that's where the trail closure started, so everyone, when they got to that point, had the option to immediately get onto 90 and hike into Silver City, or you could hike extra, go around some of Burro Peak and then on some Forest Service roads until eventually you were dumped back out onto 90 about 12 or 13 miles south of Silver City. So once we were hiking through there, I ended up getting a ride from one of the trail angels that was supplying the water at the trailheads for hikers. So I took the opportunity to ride in the last 9 miles or so to Silver City here and stay at the hostel here. So coming up are another set of very large carries. So strategically, I'm going to be sending my bear canister ahead because I'm afraid that there isn't going to be enough room for food in it if I bring it. I've got a stuff sack for this purpose, and I'm going to use it to carry probably 7 days of food out of Pie Town, and I'm going to buy that and mail it to myself this afternoon so that I've got enough food to make it all the way to Grants. And then the food carry from here to Pie Town is also very challenging. Thankfully, there's a couple of stops along the way. So 45 miles from here is Doc Campbell's. I'm planning on going there in about 3 days so I can do my low mileage and getting used to the hiking with some weight and not have to carry a lot of water. And then once we get to Doc Campbell's, it's going to be, I think, about 6 days, 5 or 6 days of 20-mile days. And I think that's starting to look like the norm for this trail, that just based on how wide open everything is, 20-ish mile days are probably going to be standard procedure. But so far, I don't think that's going to be out of reach. After doing my first 25-miler, felt great. So really looking forward to it. My strategy is always to get as many miles in as I can in the early morning when it's cold, and siesta when it's hot and sunny like this, and just keep pressing on. So I appreciate you guys. Let me answer a few questions from the comments. All right, so we've got the 3 maps of the big 3 trails: the AT, PCT, and then the CDT. And so we are down here where that pin is at mile 161.8. And if we were to go over to the AT map, this is the Smoky Mountains Park, and Klingman's Dome is right there, and it starts down here. that is 200 miles. They don't have a 160 marker on here, but I think that would be probably somewhere around here, the beginning of the Smokies. Anyway, that's about where we are relative to the AT trail. As you can see, there's a lot more trail on the AT, and there is even more trail on the CDT. It's hard to see the route. It kind of goes through here and then comes around to Glacier. But yeah, we've got a lot more fun up ahead of us. Everyone always looks at this and thinks, oh man, there's so much more to go, we haven't gone that far. And I like to think, look how much more fun we get to have. So we're here. My next stop is going to be Pie Town. So that's going to be the section that we'll hike in the next week or so. So I did have a rain cover for my bag that, thanks to the comment, I forgot who made it, but realized that I didn't need it. I had about 3 redundancies of waterproofing, so I did nix that from the pack as well. I also wanted to talk about the theory behind why I carry my bear canister. So originally what my idea was that if I could get used to it early, that would be better. And it also provided me a place to sit when I would be in the desert. So for those 2 reasons, really, I decided that that would be something I wanted to bring along from the beginning. It has not been easy. Probably, if I didn't have to bring it on anywhere on this trail, I probably wouldn't have it at all. But I definitely have been thankful in the desert, where I was able to put my shoes on a lot easier and just kind of like hang out a little bit more comfortably than other people did. But appreciate you guys watching the videos and commenting. If you have any other questions, don't forget to drop in the comments, and I will answer them either in the comments or in my next video. And looking forward to seeing you guys down the trail. Don't forget to like and subscribe. See y'all later.